Hello, I welcome you to today's lesson. My name is Paul Williams Ofori. I want to know your name, so write your name in the comment section. Let me know where you are watching me from. So the name of your school, the name of your town, they are very important. So do that for me. Okay, so let's look at what we have today. Our topic for today: functions of carbon within the environment. So today's lesson is about the functions of what? Carbon within the environment. Functions of carbon within the environment. Okay, so let's look at the keywords. Extinguisher. Extinguisher. To extinguish fire means to stop fire. So extinguisher is what we use to extinguish or stop burning, fire burning. Do you get it? Okay, so extinguisher. We have fire extinguishers. So you see the fire service officers. Anytime there is what fire outbreak, they come there with their extinguishers. They make sure the fire get stopped what? Burning. They use extinguishers to do that. Okay. The next one is carbon dioxide. Carbon is an element, and then the next one, that is oxygen. So carbon and oxygen atoms, they form what? Carbon dioxide. These two elements come together to form what we call carbon dioxide. It is one of the gases of air. You know, I told you that air is made up of what? Different gases. One of them is carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is a gas. Okay, so biosphere. So biosphere too, we are talking about parts of the planet where we can see lives exist. So we can talk of the sea. The sea, we have lives there, animals, the fish and other animals in the sea. We can talk of the land. The land, human beings, we live on the land. Some animals also live on the land. In the air, we have birds. So part of the planet that we can see lives, where lives exist, is what we call the biosphere. And then atmosphere, we are talking about the gases that are found on the surface of Earth. That is what? Atmosphere. So these are the keywords that we will look at. I want you to pay attention. Let's look at what we have here. So carbon dioxide is one of the gases in the air. It is used by plants because humans breathe out carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Plants absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere to prepare their own food through photosynthesis. So I said that carbon dioxide is one of the components of air. And you know, human beings, we breathe in, we breathe out. The air that we breathe in oxygen. What we breathe out is carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide too is what plants need. Plants need the carbon dioxide. They take in the carbon dioxide. When they are preparing their food, they need carbon dioxide and other things to prepare or make their own food. So carbon dioxide is used by plants to make their own food. Human beings, we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. We don't need carbon dioxide. We don't breathe in carbon dioxide. So we give it out for plants to also use. Okay, now let's look at uses of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, are they useful at all? It's a gas we can't see with our eyes. Carbon dioxide is a gas that we cannot see. Have you seen a gas before? Have you seen an air before? You don't see air, but we feel it. Carbon dioxide is part of the air, and we are saying carbon dioxide has uses. So we are looking at the uses of carbon dioxide. The first one is that plants use carbon dioxide to prepare their own food. Plants, they use carbon dioxide to prepare their own food. That process is what we call photosynthesis. This is what we call what? Photosynthesis. So you see, this is carbon dioxide going into the leaves. How isn't it? So plant need it to prepare its food. It also uses the sunlight and water from the soil So these three things are used by a plant to prepare their own food. The process is what we call photosynthesis. So without air or without carbon dioxide, there is no way photosynthesis will take place. Okay, let's come to the next use of carbon dioxide. We use it. So here, this is fire extinguisher. If there is fire outbreak, we use this to extinguish the fire. And what we have inside are different chemicals. One of them is carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is used to quench or extinguish what? Fire. Okay. Let's look at this side. Another use of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is used in making carbonated drinks. So you see all these drinks. You shake it and open. You see what? Gas moving out like that. So the gas that we see coming from these drinks, that gas is carbon dioxide. That is why we call they are carbonated. Carbonated drinks. They contain carbon dioxide or they contain carbon. Do you get it? Okay, so we use carbon dioxide to prepare or make these drinks. Okay, let's come here. Some carbon dioxides are also used, or we use carbon dioxide to make fertilizers. So you see the man applying fertilizer to the soil. This will make the soil fertile. It will make the soil rich. It's giving nutrient to the soil for the plant to use and grow. Okay, so we have seen some uses of carbon dioxide. Let's move on to materials in the environment that contain carbon. So in the environment, there are a lot of materials. Let's look at those that contain carbon. So carbon is a chemical element, and that is important for both living and non-living things. Carbon can be found in this part of the planet. So we are going to look at 4 parts of the planet that we can find carbon. 4 parts of the planet. The first one is biosphere. This is the land, sea, and areas where life exists. So where life exists, the part of the planet that we can find life, that part is what we call the biosphere. So the land, the sea, and other areas like the air. Okay, the next one is atmosphere. So it refers to the gases on the Earth's surface. So the gases on the Earth's surface is what we call the atmosphere. The atmosphere also contains what we have, or has what? Carbon. Okay, hydrosphere. The word hydro means what? Oh, have you forgotten? Hydro means water. So hydrosphere, that is the water bodies occupying the earth. Refers to the water bodies that we can find on the surface of earth. Okay, the next one is lithosphere. So the solid outer part of the earth is what we call the lithosphere. Okay, so carbon is continuously in circulation, meaning it moves like that. It moves from one sphere to another sphere. The process where carbon moves from one sphere of the earth to another is called the carbon cycle. So when you talk of carbon cycle, it's all about the movement of carbon from one sphere to another sphere. That cycle, that continuous movement of carbon from one sphere to another is what we call the carbon cycle. So if I ask you the meaning of the carbon cycle, or if I ask you to explain what the carbon cycle is, I expect you to give me this explanation. That is the continuous movement of what? Carbon from one sphere to another. Continuous movement of carbon from one sphere to another is what we call the carbon. It's what we call the carbon cycle. Okay. Now let's look at functions of carbon in materials found within the earth. within the environment. So we are looking at functions of carbon. 1, carbon is used by a plant to make their own food. So plants use carbon to make their own food. You know, carbon dioxide contains carbon and oxygen. These gases are used by plants to make their own food. The next one is charcoal. We all use charcoal. So charcoal is used for cooking in our homes and other places. Charcoal is made up of carbon and other substances. So the charcoal that we use, the components, the parts, one of them is carbon. Okay. Number 3, carbon is used to make drinks like Fanta, Coca-Cola, Sprite, Aval, and other fizzy or carbonated drinks. So the drinks that we buy during your birthday, you see, during Christmas, occasions, and other events, people are served with these carbonated drinks. When you open it, you see gas coming out. The gas that is coming out, it contains carbon. So carbon is used to make what? Carbonated drinks. Number 4, carbon combines with oxygen atom to form what we call carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is used in fire extinguishers. So the fire service, what they use to extinguish fire, to quench fire, the chemicals in their devices are filled with what? The devices that they use to quench fire, to extinguish fire, these devices are filled with substances, chemicals. One of the chemicals is what we call the carbon dioxide. And so that is that. The 5th one, pencils. The pencils we use for drawing contain graphite, and graphite too is a form of carbon. Okay, so the pencils that we use, you see that black thing is a form of what? Carbon. Okay. The food we eat like bread, cake, and other food items contain yeast. Yeast produces carbon dioxide during fermentation. So the food that we eat, you see, sometimes they undergo a lot of things, fermentation and other things. So carbon dioxide is what? Produced during what? Fermentation. Okay. Number 7. Carbon is found in fossil fuels like petrol and diesel. So the petrol, the diesels, the fossil fuel, we can get carbon from them. Okay. Number 8, in the pharmaceutical industry, carbon is used to prepare certain drugs like painkillers, antibiotics, and what? Vaccines. So you see, carbon is used in almost all areas. In the pharmaceutical industry, the painkillers that they are able to produce, the antibiotics and other vaccines, they need what we call carbon. They use carbon as part of the things needed to get these drugs prepared for us. Okay, so the next one, number 9, carbon is found in car tires. Carbon is used to give the tires their black color. So all the car tires, check their color. Almost all of them are black. The black color is as a result of the presence of what? Carbon. So the carbon gives the tires that color, that black color. Okay. Number 10, carbon combines with oxygen atom to form carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas that warms up the planet Earth. So the gases that we have, the air has carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide is one of the greenhouse gases. The greenhouse gases, what these gases do is that they warm up the earth. They warm up what? The earth. Okay, so today we have learned about carbon. We have seen that carbon combines with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is used to do so many things. Carbon dioxide is used to do different things. Carbon too is so important. It is used for so many things. Carbon alone as an element is used for so many things. So today, this is what we have learned. That the air that we breathe in is a mixture of gases. Carbon dioxide is one of them. And the carbon dioxide, we have carbon and oxygen that comes together to form carbon dioxide. Carbon is used in many areas. It's used to do different things. So that is what we have learned today. We are bringing our lesson to a close. And before we finally call it a day, let's look at the exercises. So we have exercise 1, we have exercise 2, exercise 3, home assignment 1 and home assignment 2. So this is what I expect you to do. Make sure you take your time, you watch the video again, read the textbook. If you have questions, your parents and your teachers are there. This is Kokomoti series. We bring to you what you are learning in the classroom. Your teachers, they are very good. If you learn something from here and you don't understand, go to them. Take your time, ask them, approach them nicely. They will attend to you and answer all your questions. The title of the book is Kokomoti series. If you need copies, call the number. Apart from science, we have Asante tree, we have Epiapim tree. If you need copies, call the number. Our videos are on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. Please, after watching this, make sure you follow us, you subscribe, you share, you like, you comment. Let's grow together as one family. My name is Paul William Sofori. Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.